In this video, we're going to feature the topic of pest preps. Around a month ago, our home was infested with cluster flies and ants, both at the same time, and I was not prepared for that. So what I decided to do was level up our emergency preparedness planning for pest preps so I'd be better prepared for the next infestation. So let's get started now with this video featuring pest preps. If you're new to this channel and just happen to stumble upon this video, I'd like to welcome you. My name is Cliff, also known as the Urban Prepper, and on this channel we feature the topic of urban emergency preparedness. In this video, I'm going to be showing you our new Pest Preps Kit, which is something I put together after we had a surprise ant invasion and a cluster fly invasion. About a month ago, we started getting ants that were coming out of one of the outlets in one of the bedrooms, and they like to hang out by the windowsill. At that same time, we had a whole bunch of cluster flies come alive in my son's bedroom. We're still not exactly sure where they came from, but they must have hatched from inside the walls and then tried to make their escape. So these two pests showed up back to back, and I quickly realized that we didn't have nearly enough supplies to deal with anything outside of rats. When we first moved into our home, we had to deal with a rat problem, which I was able to take care of using some tricks of the trade, which we'll talk about later. We've been paying for a pest control service to come out quarterly for preventative measures at our home. But when bugs show up, you want to be ready for them. So I wanted to build a comprehensive kit that would cover a wide variety of different pests, ranging from rats, to ants, to flies, roaches, and even snakes and wasps. And I wanted to have it all stored in one bag, ready to go. So for quick deployment of our pest preps, I thought it would be a great opportunity to leverage a tactical bag for storing all of the items. So the majority of items in this Pest Preps kit are stored inside of a Dolce Dom 32-inch soft double rifle case. This one's built well, has nice zippers, and is water resistant with 200D Oxford fabric with reinforced stitching. So all of the perks that we usually look out for nicer bags. It has a few different zippered pockets for storing items, and there are 3 large external pockets for smaller items, which have quick release buckles. You could carry this like a duffel bag, or even wear it as a backpack using built-in shoulder straps, which tuck away neatly when not in use. The 32-inch model of this bag is surprisingly affordable, usually around $45, which makes it a good option for anyone looking to build a specialized kit like this without breaking the bank. I also have some additional items that are stored outside of the bag and in a modular toolbox, which we'll talk about a little bit later. Let's start going through the items that are stored in the back storage pocket of the rifle case. And you guessed it, I have some blasters back there. So I'm carrying 2 of the Bug Assault 3.0 bug blasters. I have one in black and one in yellow. I found that when you're hunting flies, it's best to do it as a tag team. These fly blasters aren't just for fun, they're surprisingly effective. So the Bug Assault 3.0 uses ordinary table salt to shoot a tight, powerful pattern at soft-bodied insects like flies, moths, and even mosquitoes. This is the 3.0 version, which is one of the newer models. It has a smoother trigger, a locking safety, and upgraded sights that make mid-air shots actually doable. The best thing about it is that it's non-toxic, it doesn't need batteries, you just cock it and blast that fly away. But definitely be warned, it might turn fly hunting into a family sport. When we had our cluster fly infestation, we only had an electric Fly Zapper, which we'll talk about more later, but this is a lot more fun. You'll take care of a fly within 2 to 3 feet, no problem. You get around 80 shots of salt with a full load on the blaster. Again, 2 Bug Assault 3.0 blasters. Let's move on to the other side of that long storage compartment of the bag. Starting off first, I have some animal handling gloves. These ones were made by Racket. They're the Racket 22-inch animal handling gloves. As I was putting this kit together, I started to think, what would I do if I had to grab some wild animal that made its way in the house? I wouldn't want to get bit or scratched up by that thing. So I started researching some animal handling gloves for handling that type of situation. These gloves provide protection to your hands and forearms when dealing with aggressive or unpredictable animals. They're made from a thick, puncture-resistant cowhide leather with reinforced layers in the fingers, palms, and backs. I didn't want to test this out on a raccoon or anything like that, so instead we decided to troll our cat Leo to see how his bites and scratches would do with the gloves. After a lot of testing that he probably wasn't a fan of, we thought that they worked pretty well. Again, the Racket animal handling gloves. The next item are some snake tongs. In Western Washington, we don't typically have to deal with snakes, but if we ever did, I'd be ready for them. These are collapsible snake tongs that expand out to 60 inches. They're made of stainless steel and have a wide, smooth jaw that grips without actually harming the animal. And they give you a full 5 feet of distance between you and whatever you're grabbing. For example, we could also use this when disposing of rats. There's a few other snake tongs out there, but I really like these ones because they're collapsible. So this particular model makes it really convenient to store in a Pest Preps kit like this. My daughter's been having a great time practicing with this with different practice animals, such as snakes and rats. Again, some snake tongs. Now let's start going through all the items that are stored in the middle zippered pocket of the bag. When you open it up, the first thing that you notice is that I have 2 electric fly swatter rackets. Going into our infestation emergency, I only had one, and that was the yellow Zap It Bug Zapper electric fly swatter. You could pick this one up at a variety of different stores such as Harbor Freight and any home supply store. Many cluster flies lost their lives due to this particular zapper when we were going through the infestation. What I like about this one is that it only takes 2 AA batteries, so you don't have to charge it up ahead of time. This Pest Preps kit may be stored for a while in the future, so being able to quickly put batteries in the bug zapper and start using it is pretty handy. This yellow one matches the yellow Bug Assault 3.0 blaster, so these could be the weapons of choice for a single person in the family. But as mentioned, I think it's best to attack these pests in pairs, so I wanted to go with an upgraded electric fly swatter racket. So stored next to it, I have an even nicer electric fly swatter. This one is made by Yisvik. It's a 4,000 volt bug zapper. The cool thing about this one is that it comes with a purple mosquito light to help attract the bugs at night. This one uses USB-C to charge the internal 15 milliamp hour rechargeable battery, and it's designed to catch a wide variety of flying insects such as flies, gnats, moths, and mosquitoes. As mentioned, the cool thing about this particular one is that it has that purple light that could attract these bugs at night. Because you could charge it using USB-C, you could actually stand this up and have it charging and running at night, and the bugs will just fly into that purple light. Hearing a bug get zapped by one of these things is quite the enjoyable sound. I'm actually not sure what I like better, blasting them with the salt or zapping them with the electric racket. So I figured, why not both? So now we have 2 matching sets of fly weapons. Stored in that same compartment, I also have a Carson Bug View Magnifier. We don't kill every single bug, and there are some that we try to save and let outside. So that's why we have this particular tool in the kit. Our main intended use for this one is for spiders. So you just place this over the bug like a spider, and then you move the thumb slider, which will push up this orange door underneath it. Once you push it up all the way, the bug will be completely trapped in there. You could examine it if you want, and easily transport it outside for a nice catch and release tool. This one's fairly affordable and works great. Again, the Carson Bug View Magnifier quick release bug catching tool. Stored in a Ziploc bag in one of the sleeves are some Safe Tech sting relief wipes. We may get bit when dealing with pests, so having some sting relief swabs is great to have for bug bites and stings. Also stored in that sleeve are some Nitro Gloves, stored in a large Ziploc bag. Later on, we're going to be talking about some of the rat traps, and if you actually catch a rat, you probably don't want to dispose of it with your bare hands. So I have several pairs of Nitro Gloves stored in a Ziploc bag to help avoid spreading germs when dealing with nasty pests. And those are all the items that are stored in that middle compartment of the bag. Now let's start going through the items that are stored in the 3 external pockets of the bag. Let's start off first with the pocket on the left. In this pocket, I store some rat traps. This is the classic Victor snap trap. It's the same design that's been reliably catching rats for over 100 years. It's simple, fast, and extremely effective when placed along walls or known travel paths. I use the standard wooden trap, but with a little upgrade. Instead of using peanut butter, which I found that rats seem to just be able to lick right off without activating the rat trap, I secure a small piece of half-cooked bacon around the metal pedal and wrap it with picture hanging wire. This forces the rat to tug on the bait, which triggers the trap more reliably. This approach has worked really well for us, and it's a small little tweak that makes a big difference, especially for smarter rats that like to steal and sneak the bait. Just like a lot of us, rats cannot resist the smell of bacon. So I have a couple of these Victor original rat traps stored in the Pest Preps Kit. In that middle pocket is where I store some of that picture hanging wire for wrapping and securing the bacon on the activation plate of the trap. The main item that I store in that middle pocket is cockroach gel bait. This particular cockroach gel bait is made by Advian and is highly rated. It uses a powerful non-repellent ingredient called indoxacarb that roaches can't detect, so they feed on it and carry it back to the nest. Once it spreads, it could wipe out entire colonies in under 24 hours. It's easy to apply with the included plunger and tips and works indoors or outdoors in cracks, crevices, and anywhere where roaches like to hide. Again, we have some Advian cockroach gel, just in case. Now let's move on to the right external storage pocket. Starting off first, I have some Taro liquid ant baits. You could find this in the pest control section of most home supply stores like Home Depot. These little bait stations are one of the easiest and most effective ways to deal with ants. Again, we had a whole bunch of small, tiny ants coming out of one of the outlets in the bedroom. So this stuff has a sweet liquid that attracts worker ants who carry it back to the colony and share it, slowly wiping out the entire nest, even the ants that you can't see. Once you set this bait, like on the windowsill, you'll actually see more ants at first, but that just means that it's working. The bait stays fresh inside the sealed station, and the snap-off tab makes setup super simple. Again, some Taro liquid ant baits. The next item stored in that external pocket are some Catchmaster glue boards. These are the same glue traps that the pros use, but you could buy them in bulk for way less. The glue is strong enough to catch spiders and roaches, and even the occasional mouse, although I prefer not to use glue traps for mice and rats. We tried that years back and it does work, but then you have this rat just freaking out in the glue trap and trying to escape. We prefer just to use the standard rat traps for a quick and painless death. These glue traps are non-toxic and they won't hurt your pets or kids if they happen to bump into them. You could either leave them flat on the floor and slide it under the floorboard, or you could even make it into a little foldable box for spiders and cockroaches and other pests to go into. Again, we have a whole bunch of Catchmaster glue boards. So those are all of the pest preps that are stored in the Dulce Dom soft rifle case. However, there's some additional items that we don't store in this particular bag and store elsewhere. Sometimes when a spider comes out, you might not have time to grab that tactical Pest Preps Kit. And sometimes those spiders are huge and might not fit in the Carson Bug View Magnifier, and you may want to keep your distance from them anyway. So I also include a sail-long spider catching tool. This tool is made for one job, dealing with big, ugly spiders when you absolutely do not want to get close. The 31-inch handle gives you a solid amount of distance, so you could stay calm and in control while trapping the spider inside the clear cone. This one also has a little trap door underneath it, so once you trap the spider, you could slide that door to seal it up. You could then carry it outside and let it go without ever needing to touch it. It's the perfect tool for anyone in the family who wants to help but refuses to go anywhere near an 8-legged monster. We keep this one stored ready to go in the entryway closet. Again, the sail-long spider catcher tool. I also have a bottle of Dietmacous earth. This isn't just any ordinary powder. It's actually made from fossilized algae called diatoms, and it's one of the safest, most natural pest control tools that you could have around the house. It works by dehydrating insects like ants, roaches, and earwigs, and it's totally chemical free. This version is mined in Nevada and comes in a bottle that helps you apply it in cracks, along baseboards, or wherever else pests are hiding. You just want to make sure that you keep this dry because moisture makes it clump and loses effect. Again, a bottle of Harris Dietmacous earth for natural, chemical-free pest control. There's some additional items that I'm storing in a rigid modular toolbox, so I have a place for reloads of the supplies of the Pest Preps Kit, in addition to some extra items. Let's open up this add-on module to see what's inside. I mentioned earlier that the Dietmacous earth is chemical-free. Well, this item is not chemical-free, and it's for my sworn enemies, wasps and hornets. So I have a few cans of Raid, Wasp, and Hornet spray. If you've ever had a nest show up under your eaves or around the yard, this stuff is a must-have. It sprays up to 22 feet and you can hit the nest from a safe distance, and it kills on contact. Just point, spray, and walk away. No need to get too close to something with wings and an attitude. I've been attacked by yellow jackets before when doing gravestone cleaning, and these things are just jerks. I'm not sure what their purpose is in the animal kingdom, other than to be punks to every other species out there in the world. I've done some research and they say that yellow jackets and wasps are great pollinators and they serve as food for other animals. But for me, if they come near our home, they gotta go. So again, I have a few cans of Raid, Wasp, and Hornet spray. In the middle section of the box, I have a Zevo flying insect trap. This is extremely highly rated and works awesome. The Zevo flying insect trap uses a powerful combination of blue and UV light to continuously lure fruit flies, gnats, houseflies, and more, using a trap and lock cartridge with no odor or mess. Just place the trap in an outlet that is easily accessible by flying insects, turn off the lights, and it will continuously catch these flying pests 24/7. I also have a few extra Zevo flying insect trap refill cartridges. If we ever have another infestation in my son's room, in addition to the bug assault blaster and electric fly rackets, we'll also have this set up and running 24/7 in the room. Those flies are going down. Also stored in this middle section are some refills for some of the supplies that you saw in the bag. So I have more of the glue boards, more refills of the ant bait, and more refills of the sting relief wipes. In the right section of the box, I also have some additional rat traps and picture hanging wire to use for wrapping the bacon around the traps. I also have some smaller versions of the traps for mice. This is mainly my stock to help refill the rat traps that are in the bag. And those are all of the Pest Preps items that I'm currently storing. Infestations could happen for all different types of reasons, such as food being left out, standing water, warm hidden areas. But the main thing that I found out is that they seem to always show up when you're not ready, which is why we built this Pest Preps Kit, to make sure that we're never caught scrambling again. I now feel that I have a leveled up set of emergency pest preps that are organized and ready to go for everyday pest occurrences such as spiders and flies, in addition to infestations that may occur when you least expect it. That's going to do it for this video featuring Pest Preps. I hope that you enjoyed watching it. I now feel better prepared for when the next infestation of pests may hit our home. Please feel free to leave any kind of comments below in the comment section regarding your particular pest preps that you may have. I imagine depending on the region, you may have different type of pests that appear in your home. Maybe you have scorpions, for example. So leave those comments below in the comment section. And as always, I've included a PDF document. You could download it by clicking the link in the description box below. It has a list of all the items that were featured in this video. Stay tuned for more emergency preparedness videos, and I'll see you next time. Take care.